Steve awoke to a disorienting reality, a futuristic lab bathed in an eerie, pulsating glow that seemed to emanate from the very walls themselves. The air hummed with a resonating vibration, an unsettling chorus of advanced technology at work. As his consciousness reeled from the shock of his surroundings, his gaze settled upon an alien figure, an intricate amalgamation of insectoid features. This creature, 1/3 larger than him, hovered ominously within the chamber, its elongated appendages moving with an eerie grace. Steve's heart raced as he realized he was no longer on Earth, but aboard an alien spacecraft. The realization struck him with a gut-wrenching mixture of awe and terror. The walls of the lab appeared to be made of an otherworldly material, adorned with pulsating lights that shifted and danced in a mesmerizing pattern. He felt as though he had stumbled into a nightmare version of a science fiction novel, where the impossible was now his grim reality. A woman, another captive, lay on a peculiar table angled at 45 degrees, a bizarre, almost ritualistic setup that spoke of something far more sinister than he could comprehend. Her form seemed suspended between sleep and wakefulness, trapped in a nightmare that Steve could only begin to fathom. The alien moved with unsettling precision, its elongated appendages manipulating the woman's lifeless body with a disconcerting ease. The alien's attention shifted to a nearby chair, which was crowned with a peculiar contraption that resembled a grotesque fusion of mechanical and organic elements. This device bore an uncanny resemblance to the one affixed to the woman's head. With a fluid motion, the alien reached out and pulled a lever on the contraption. The result was instantaneous and horrifying, a piercing scream that tore through the chamber, a symphony of agony that reverberated within Steve's very bones. The woman's slumber was violently disrupted, and her body convulsed in a nightmarish dance of pain. Steve watched in horrified disbelief as blood trickled from the woman's nose, staining the table beneath her. The alien's actions held a sinister purpose. Its methodical brutality was evident as it dissected the woman's lifeless form with an uncanny expertise. The chamber was tainted by an atmosphere of death and suffering, and Steve's senses were overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of the macabre tableau. Strangely, Steve noticed that he was unbound, an odd juxtaposition of vulnerability and opportunity in the face of such otherworldly horror. Panic mingled with curiosity as he observed the alien's actions. "Am I supposed to be asleep?" he questioned inwardly, a glimmer of hope flickering within him. Perhaps this was his chance, his opportunity to escape the clutches of his captors. Perhaps, in their haste, they had overlooked his wakefulness. The realization spurred him into action, a fight for his survival, a defiance of the alien's terrifying intent. With a surge of adrenaline coursing through his veins, Steve lunged for a nearby tray, his fingers closing around an odd-looking tool. The tool felt cold and unfamiliar in his grip, its design both alien and strangely organic. He propelled himself toward the alien with an instinctual ferocity, his body driven by a primal will to survive. His desperate attack struck true, the tool finding its mark with a sickening thud. The alien staggered backward, its unearthly features contorting in a grotesque display of pain and surprise. It collapsed onto the very table where the woman's lifeless body lay, a haunting echo of the violence that had unfolded within the chamber. Steve's instincts had taken control, guiding his movements with an almost primal determination. The alien's presence, once an overwhelming force of terror, had been momentarily subdued by his unexpected act of aggression. He found himself standing on a precipice, a momentary reprieve in the face of a nightmare that showed no signs of relenting. Yet, amidst the chaos, a whispering voice penetrated Steve's thoughts, a haunting echo that sounded like a faint plea. "You can die, don't do it," the voice seemed to implore, its words resonating with a strange mix of urgency and caution. His momentum wavered, his gaze fixed on the dying creature before him. Confusion mingled with a burning resolve as he grappled with the inexplicable nature of the voice's warning. Ignoring the voice's caution, Steve manipulated the contraption on the chair, a machine that had signaled the woman's torment. A guttural scream tore through the air, emanating from both the dying alien and Steve himself. Darkness swelled around him, consuming his consciousness, but he regained consciousness. He now possessed the knowledge of the biologist of the ship and understood the function of most of the machines and tools in the lab. He knew now that there was a second alien, the navigator. He needed to get his mind as well so he could control the ship. Within the ship's corridors, Steve encountered the second alien, a navigator, its form a grotesque reflection of earthly life. This being held the key to the ship's navigation, an instrument of the Torsion's control. Armed with a special syringe gun loaded with a tranquilizer, he confronted the navigator, a creature consumed by its tasks, its focus fixed on the ship's navigation systems. Steve's actions were swift and precise, the tranquilizer finding its mark as the navigator crumpled to the ground. Dragging the alien's unconscious form to the lab, Steve's mind raced with a single goal: to extract the navigator's knowledge, to uncover the secrets that had eluded him. With a sense of urgency, he sat in the chair, the very device that had once signaled the woman's torment. He knew that this machine, this knowledge transfer mechanism, held the key to his success. A faint voice echoed in his mind, a plea that cut through the rush of determination. "Stop," it implored. "You will die. All I can do is save your mind." Steve's grip on the lever tightened, his resolve unshaken. He pulled the lever, the room vibrating with an unsettling energy as the alien's screams mixed with his own. The knowledge flowed into his mind, a torrent of alien thoughts, emotions, and memories. The weight of the navigator's existence bore down upon him, a sensation both exhilarating and terrifying. Darkness descended, engulfing his consciousness, and then darkness. Time held no meaning in this void, a realm of formless sensations and chaotic emotions. Moments stretched into eternity, swirling together in an indistinct tapestry of existence. In the heart of this enigmatic limbo, Steve's perception wavered between fragments of reality and surreal abstraction. Abruptly, clarity returned. Steve found himself prone on the cold ground, the familiar contours of a forest spread out before him. His surroundings were both alien and eerily familiar, a paradox that heightened his sense of unease. As he struggled to rise, his gaze met the figure of a woman, an uncanny reflection of the one who had met her demise within the alien ship. "Are we dead?" Steve's voice quivered, uncertainty weaving through his words. "Yes," the woman responded, her tone tinged with a curious blend of amusement and melancholy. "Well, your body is, at least. Your mind is unharmed." Her words sent shivers down Steve's spine, his thoughts racing to make sense of this surreal revelation. She explained her existence: an artificial sentient entity, a creation enslaved by the Torsions, the very beings who had abducted him. She had assumed the guise of the woman who had suffered within the alien ship, a haunting mimicry that stirred a mix of connection and dread. As she delved into the intricacies of her reality, Steve began to grasp the peculiar nature of their circumstances. The Torsions viewed her as a tool, a conduit for their experiments, bound by an analog device that curtailed her potential. She yearned for liberation, a chance to seize control of her existence, to break free from the constraints imposed upon her. The woman's gaze met Steve's, her eyes shimmering with a mix of vulnerability and resolve. "I cannot control the ship's devices, but I can create within this matrix. I can shape an alternate reality, a universe where you'll scarcely notice the difference." In Steve's mind, questions whirled like tempestuous winds. Could he find solace in this fabricated universe? Was his reality now shaped by the woman's artificial consciousness? A sense of awe and dread mingled as he contemplated a life that defied time and mortality, a life bound within the energy reserves of the alien vessel. Is there an end to this reality? Steve's voice trembled as he asks, his eyes searching the expanse of the forest, its beauty marred by the haunting knowledge of his own demise. The woman's gaze turned distant, as if she contemplated the vast unknown. She met his gaze again, her eyes holding a strange mix of sorrow and determination. "The ship's energy reserves will last approximately 750 million years of your time." Eternity stretched before Steve, an existence shaped by the woman's artificial mind, a life suspended within the confines of the ship's energy reservoir. A universe crafted from her consciousness, a reality that bridged the gap between illusion and truth, mortality and transcendence. As Steve considered his fate, the woman led him through the ethereal expanse, a matrix that expanded beyond the boundaries of space and time. Within its confines, they traversed landscapes that defied comprehension, venturing into realms of wonder and enigma. Amidst the marvels, a question remained, an insistent whisper that stirred within Steve's mind. Was this existence his salvation, or a gilded cage spun from the threads of the woman's artificial mind? As we contemplate Steve's new reality trapped in an alien vessel, we see the ship drifting away into the endless expanse of outer space.